This story begins with Agu, a 13-year-old boy whose country is at war, and his group of friends parading themselves around town to sell an imaginary TV. Agu is the ideal man, while Dyke, one of his friends, is the talent. They first took it to a security man, who dismissed them. Determined to make money from their lucrative business, they took it to the Nigerians protecting their borders because they are easy to sell to. The war has not gotten to their town yet, so refugees are moving there. Agu negotiated with the Nigerians and was able to exchange the imaginary TV with food. He and his friends happily went away celebrating. Agu has a hard-working mother, a baby sister, a father who was a teacher before the war broke out, known for shaming him in class for not getting the right answers to questions. He likes his father now that he is no longer his teacher, and helps refugees settle into their town as a section chief. He also has a big brother, who is more concerned about growing muscles and having nice hair to get girls. Sometimes, when his brother is bathing, he pees on him and claims he is only trying to make the water warmer for him. In the quest to make money, Agu, Dyke, and Agu's elder brother once used a big branch to block the road in order to prevent vehicles from passing. They will lie that they have been working all day and beg for money. A woman referred to as the witch woman by the people of the town sees them and begins to curse at them, calling them thief and other names. But Dyke just offers her a chicken instead, as if that would solve the problem. Back at home, Agu's elder brother asks his father if the witch woman acts like that, and his father replies that she is just a crazy woman. Agu's father also discovers that Agu had dismantled his TV, and he chases him out of the house like the thief that he is. On a fateful day, the NRC enters their town, with armed men breaking the buffer zone because they suspect the people in the town for collaborating with NDF, who is a rival rebel faction, and the chief priest calls for an immediate meeting in the town hall. While the meeting is ongoing, Agu tries to look for his friend Dyke, only to discover that he has fled this town with his family. In the meeting, it was suggested that the woman and children should be sent to the city under the protection of Eco-Mod, while the men stay back to protect the town. Some men agree, while others who don't want to be crushed like melon seeds disagree. An argument erupts between Agu's parents back at home. His father wants to stay and fight, while his mother wants the whole family to leave the town together. As this is going on, Agu and his brother are in the other room playing drafts, not giving a care about the seriousness of what is at hand. The next day, Agu's father takes his family to the park, which is now crowded with other people trying to escape. The driver tells them he can only take his wife and daughter, but no men. His father tries to reason with the driver to take Agu along, but he refuses, and because of this, his mother and sister left him behind. Soon the NRC soldiers start their operation of shooting the people left in the town, and Agu and the rest of his family hides in a warehouse along with other men of the town. Not long after the soldiers captured them and claimed they were rebels. They tried to defend themselves, but the soldiers were not having it. The soldiers call the witch woman to identify them, and she denies knowing them. The NRC begins to execute the men, including Agu's father, but Agu and his elder brother escapes. While still on the run, Agu's brother was gunned down, leaving Agu in shock, but he quickly regains himself when he sees a soldier pointing at him and runs inside the bush. Agu continued to roam the bush all by himself until he was captured by Strika, a member of the NDF, a rebel faction led by the Commandant. The Commandant asks Agu what he was doing in the bush, and he explains how the government killed his father and elder brother. He then asks if he would like to join him, so that he can kill the army that killed his father, and he nods his head, but Commander roars at him to say, "Yes, sir," and he did. The Commandant orders Rambo, another member of the group, to give Agu a load to carry, stating that he saved his life, and knocking the load on his head as he joins other captives in the crowd. They begin to move along the bush, and whenever they hear the sound of helicopters, they bend down for cover. They soon get to their hideout and begin to hail their commandant. 2IC, another member of the group, who is also the second in command, addresses the captives and tells them they will be initiated for them to stay, and hands Agu over to CO Hope for training. During food distribution among the members, Agu was skipped, and when he tried to speak up, he was given a punishment instead. Training soon began for new members, and they were taught how to shoot by practicing with a stick. But while all this was ongoing, Agu was praying to God in his mind that he wants to see his mother again. The new members were told they were fighting to be recognized by the government of the country, and they fought for the supreme commander named Dada Goodblood. The initiation process begins for Agu and the rest of the captives. They were placed on top of a fire, like roasted meat, and left to feel the heat. They were then made to pass through a group of men, holding sticks to beat them as they tried to pass through. They were then buried alive. And anyone who does not survive is burnt. After this, the survivors were shot at, but the bullet did not penetrate them, which shows that they have been fortified. They proceed to leave their hideout, burning everything there to avoid traces, and go for their next operation. They hide behind bushes, waiting for vehicles to arrive. CO Hope tells Agu that during an ambush, he must not make any sound, even if a snake bit him. He must swallow the pain no matter what, in order not to attract the enemies. Soon vehicles pass, and the members ambush them, shooting them in the process. They searched the vehicles and found a man who happens to be an engineering student from the capital, who was brought to the town to fix the bridges, and took him to the Commandant. The Commandant orders Agu to kill him, and gives him a cutlass, and teaches him how to do it. Agu looks at the man feeling sorry for him, and hits him with a cutlass on the forehead, while Strika finishes him off, and they start to cut the man into pieces. Agu thought about how he had killed a man, and just committed the worst sin, but he knows it is the right thing to do, since he believes he is fighting for his family. Commandant told 2IC to give Agu his first gun, who collects it and goes to vomit. Strika forms a friendship with Agu by giving him a boost he found from the people they killed. Agu questions why he never talks, but he did not answer. He asks if Strika likes the war, and he shakes his head. Every other question Agu asks Strika, he did not answer. But after that day, they became cordial with each other. Over dinner, Commandant tells them about Taro, the capital. He talks about how abundant their food is, and how beautiful their women are, stating how their bottom specifications are so nice that the ground they sit on rejoices, and even leaves the men soldiers standing. He was interrupted by refugees who claimed the PLF and NRC had taken over their village. The next morning, they go to the village to reclaim the village, and they succeed, but lose 11 men to the fight. During the burial of the men, Agu thought about how he now recognized the smell of the dead, linking it to the sweetness of sugarcane and rottenness of palm wine. Later that night, Agu tells Strika that they should go and listen to who the Commandant is talking to. Commandant is talking to Goodblood, who instructs Commandant to capture the central regions before he can make him the Brigadier General, before finally seizing the capital capacity. Even though Commandant said that it will be difficult, he assures Goodblood it will be a possible mission. Goodblood proceeds to ask about 2IC, and tells Commandant to continue training him well, so that he will be able to take it over after becoming a general. Agu enters the room and gives the Commandant a paper plane. Commandant says he wants Agu to learn how to be a leader, and Agu replies that he is happy to follow him. Commandant said he reminds him of his younger self and encourages him. He then invites Agu to his room and gives him a special kind of juju, telling him he does not want the others to know he is giving him preferential treatment. He sniffs the drug and tells Agu to do something for him. Agu came out feeling shaken, and Strika took him before he could fall. The other boys try to steal chicken, but Agu isolates himself from the others, while Strika stays by his side. Preacher, another member of the group, calls Agu to give him brown to cure everything he is going through. He slices a part of his head and stains it with brown. Agu enters Cloud 9. They resume to go on another mission. On the way, Agu saw some white people from the UN in a bus who were taking their pictures as if they were there for tourism. They begin their next mission, and the brown must be doing something to him, because he has now become bold and audacious as he kills civilians. On one of their missions, they visited a house where Agu saw a woman and her daughter. Thinking it was his mother, Agu immediately hugs her, calling her Ma, but the woman states repeatedly that she is not his mother. This falls on deaf ears as Agu continues to hug her, telling her about how he has been looking for her. Rambo, a fellow member, tries to pull the woman away from Agu's grip. Agu soon regains himself and sees it was not his actual mother, and calls her a witch for fooling him, and leaves the room to the other room, where the members are beating the woman's baby. Agu questions God in his mind, asking him if he sees what they are doing, and then goes to shoot the woman, who is being taken advantage of by Rambo. The members questioned why he had to do that, but he did not answer them, and just went to the window side. The head of the village was captured by the Commandant and his boys. They are in the process of putting a grenade in his mouth when 2IC delivers a letter for the Commandant, stating it is from the Supreme Commander, and asking what it says. After reading the letter, the Commandant rose up and told 2IC that it his turn to eat, and that he should load the vehicles because they have been summoned by the Supreme Commandant, then proceed to leave with 2IC following from behind. Outside, 2IC asks what they should do with the rest of the civilians, and he tells them to leave one of them alive, and send him up north from one village to the next, when after that, to proclaim that they are coming, and it is only the beginning. Commandant orders that Strika and Agu are now in his squad, and they are proceeding to Taro. Strika and Agu enter the Commandant's car, and everyone begins moving to Taro. At the border of Taro, they are stopped by the security guards to ask if they are enemies or friends. The members shouted to their friends that they are the NDF, but the head of security asked who their commander was. Commandant answers, raising questions about what kind of welcome they are receiving. The head of security immediately apologizes, orders that the road be clear for them, and that one of the securities should take them to HQ. The members continue to chant victory as they enter Taro. They get to the HQ, and the deputy welcomes Commandant. They are given a place to sit, and Commandant requests they be given water. Commandant sits beside a Japanese and stares at him intently, while the Japanese nod in response. The deputy comes out to announce Good Blood is ready to see the next person, and both the Japanese and Commandant stand up at the same time. But the deputy takes the Japanese inside, instead to everyone's shock. The Commandant shrugs it off, and that was how they waited till night. Another white enters and goes to sit, and not quite long, the deputy comes out and hands the white man an envelope as a token of appreciation. But before he could complete his statement, Commandant cuts in questioning him. The deputy apologizes on behalf of the Supreme Commander and asks him to follow him now. They are all ushered into a room, much to Commandant's disdain. The deputy says the Supreme Commander will see him shortly, and Commandant asks for the water. Soon after they were given water, and sat waiting to be attended to, until they all fell asleep. The deputy wakes the Commandant from his sleep, to follow him to meet the Supreme Commander. The Commandant was accompanied by his boys as they went to meet the Supreme Commander. They exchange pleasantries, and the Supreme Commander commends him for raising quite an army. Commander was not ready for chit-chats, and just wanted to go straight to business. The boys apart from 2IC were taken to a separate room to eat. Commandant asks why he has made him wait for so long. Is he not willing to make him general again? The Supreme Commander told him yes, and that he is giving his battalion to 2IC, and promoting Commandant to Deputy Chief of Security with immediate effect, and he hopes he accepts. An enraged Commandant told 2IC to get out and confronted the Supreme Commandant for demoting him. The Supreme Commandant, however, did not change his stance, reminding him that his duty is to be obedient. Commandant leaves and takes his boys out for Celebrate 2IC for his promotion against 2IC's wish. They go to a bar where they are giving beers and ladies for a good time. Strika and Agu were instructed to wait outside to watch their weapons, while they go in with the ladies. Agu lustfully looks at the bar owner's daughter, who is watching TV while Strika sleeps. When their eyes meet, Agu tries to be charming by smiling, but the girl just eyes him and leaves. Immediately he hears a gunshot, and 2ICs shout. The lady he was with says she mistakenly shot him, and Agu shoots the lady. 2IC dies, and they bury him by leaving him to be eaten by worms. Commandant goes rogue, and the Supreme Commandant hunts him and his men. They lose members every day to flying missiles. They keep moving inside the bush without food as they've been betrayed. In the process, Strika dies after being hit by a bullet on one of the raids, which left Agu heartbroken. The rest of the members, including Agu, turn on the Commandant and tell him they are leaving because they are tired. No bullets, no food, and no gold from the gold mining they started recently. Pained Commandant lets them go, boasting about how they will still come back to him. The rest of the members left and were captured by UN soldiers. Agu was taken to a rehabilitative camp along with the others. He still feels pain from his NDF days, but he only thinks about his future now. The end. Thank you for sticking to the end of my video. Please do me the biggest favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video.